The lake was mirror smooth at dawn when I heard the first car crunching up my gravel driveway, right on schedule. From my study window overlooking the water, I watched my cousin Patrick's BMW pull up, followed by three more vehicles filled with family members. The family council had arrived for their self-appointed takeover of my property. I sipped my coffee and checked my security feeds. They hadn't noticed the new cameras yet or the subtle changes to the grounds. Perfect. This place is wasted on him, I heard my cousin Emma say as they gathered on my front steps. 3 years he's had this gorgeous manor, and what does he do? Works in the city and visits twice a year. If they'd bothered to check, they'd know I spent every weekend here working on my real plans for the property. But the family had always been better at making assumptions than asking questions. My phone buzzed, the family group chat exploding with messages. We're here. Time to rescue this beautiful house from neglect. Can't wait to see my new room. Did anyone bring the champagne? This calls for a celebration. I let them knock for exactly 5 minutes before activating the intercom. Good morning, family. Please come into the main hall. The massive oak doors swung open automatically, another recent upgrade they hadn't expected. Their confident expressions faltered slightly as they entered, finding me waiting at the top of the grand staircase. James, Uncle Bob called up, trying to sound jovial. Quite a welcome committee you've got here. But you didn't need to be so formal about it. We are family, after all. I descended slowly, noting each face. Uncle Bob and Aunt Patricia, the self-appointed family patriarchs. Cousins Patrick, Emma, and David with their spouses. My sister Margaret and her husband George. All successful professionals who'd never quite achieved the wealth they thought they deserved. Indeed we are family, I said mildly. Which makes it interesting that none of you thought to ask before deciding to move into my home. Oh darling, we didn't want to bother you with details. Aunt Patricia simpered. We know how busy you are with your little investment business. My little investment business had quietly bought up half the lakefront properties in the area, but they'd never bothered to investigate that either. Besides, Emma chimed in, it's ridiculous for one person to have this much space. 8 bedrooms, a private dock, that gorgeous boathouse, all going to waste. And we've already made all the arrangements, Patrick added proudly. I sold my house. David gave notice at his apartment. Emma's kids are enrolled in the local school. How convenient, I said. And when exactly were you planning to inform me of these arrangements? Well, we're telling you now, Uncle Bob laughed. Come on, James. You're always talking about family being important. This is your chance to prove it. I walked to the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the lake. You're right. Family is important, which is why I've made some arrangements of my own. Arrangements? Margaret asked, speaking for the first time. She'd always been the shrewder one. She could sense something was off. I pressed a button on my phone. The house's hidden speakers came to life with a recorded message. Welcome to the future home of the International Rowing Academy. This historic lakefront property will be transformed into a world-class training facility, featuring dormitories for aspiring athletes, state-of-the-art training facilities, and comprehensive coaching programs. The color drained from Uncle Bob's face. What is this? My arrangement, I said simply. The property transfer was finalized yesterday. Demolition begins next week. You can't, Emma shrieked. We're family. Yes, family who never visited. Family who mocked my purchase of this old money waste of space. Family who only got interested when you decided to take it for yourselves. But where will we live? David stammered. I've already given notice. That sounds like a you problem, I replied. Though I hear there are some lovely apartments available in Uncle Bob's new development. The one where he tripled the rent on single mothers last month. Uncle Bob's face purpled. That was business. This is different, is it? Because from where I stand it looks exactly the same. Privileged people trying to take what isn't theirs, not caring who they hurt in the process. Margaret stepped forward. James, be reasonable. Think about Emma's children. Like you thought about my feelings. Or did you forget telling everyone at Christmas that I was hoarding property while real families struggled? That was different, she protested. I was just being entitled, assuming you had rights to something that wasn't yours, planning to steal my property because you thought I wouldn't fight back. I pressed another button. The house's lights dimmed, and projectors activated, displaying the architectural plans on the walls. The academy will house 50 young athletes from underprivileged backgrounds, full scholarships, world-class training, a chance at Olympic dreams. The boathouse you plan to use for summer parties. It'll be a training center. Those bedrooms you divided up without asking. They'll house kids who've earned their spot through hard work, not family connections. You choose strangers over family, Aunt Patricia gasped. No, I'm choosing to help people who deserve it over people who tried to steal from me. There's a difference. Patrick stepped forward, face red. We'll fight this. We'll sue. I smiled and pressed another button. The screens changed to show emails, text messages, and social media posts, dozens of them, all from family members planning their takeover. Please do sue. I'd love to show a judge how you conspired to seize my property. I'm sure the press would be fascinated too. Wealthy family tries to block Olympic training facility for underprivileged youth. That should play well on social media. The fight seemed to drain out of them. One by one they began to realize how thoroughly they'd been outmaneuvered. The demolition crew arrives Monday, I continued. I'd suggest canceling those moving trucks and finding new housing arrangements quickly. Though given how you've treated your own tenants, I doubt you'll get much sympathy in the rental market. James, Margaret tried one last time. Mom would be so disappointed in you. I walked to the mantelpiece and picked up a framed photograph. Mom in her rowing team uniform, accepting a medal, the same uniform the academy's students would wear. Actually, Mom taught me that privilege comes with responsibility. That success means helping others succeed. That's exactly what I'm doing. I pressed the intercom again. Security will escort you out now. Please don't return. The cameras are already recording, and trespassing charges will be filed. As they were led away, I heard Emma wail, "But what about our furniture? We've already packed." I smiled. "Consider it a donation to the academy. I'm sure the students will appreciate it." After they left, I walked out to the dock. The lake was still mirror smooth, reflecting the manor that would soon be transformed. My phone buzzed with panicked messages from the family, but I ignored them. Mom had always said the lake had a way of showing people their true reflections. Today my family had finally seen theirs. The morning after my family's failed takeover attempt, I sat in my home office overlooking the lake, watching the sun rise over the water while my phone continuously buzzed with messages. The family's shock had turned to outrage overnight, and they were determined to make their feelings known. I opened the latest email from Uncle Bob. "James, your betrayal of family values is unconscionable. Emma's children are crying. Patrick's wife is having anxiety attacks. This isn't what we taught you about family loyalty. We demand an immediate meeting to discuss reasonable compensation for our losses and emotional distress." Uncle Bob, I forwarded the email to my lawyer with a simple note, "Add to the harassment file." Then I opened my laptop to review the security footage from the previous night. As expected, 3 family members had tried to return after dark: Patrick, David, and my sister Margaret. They'd attempted to access the boathouse, probably hoping to find a way into the main building, only to be turned away by the new security system. My phone rang. Catherine Moore, the academy's director. "James, I hope I'm not calling too early." "Not at all. How are things progressing?" "Wonderfully, we've already received over 200 applications for the first class of students. But there's been some concerning activity on our social media." "Let me guess. My family?" "Yes. They're posting comments claiming the academy is a front for property theft, that we're destroying family heritage. Some are even suggesting we're engaging in real estate fraud." I smiled. "Actually, this is perfect. Send me screenshots of everything. And check your email. I'm forwarding something you'll want to see." I attached the architectural plans, along with a special edition, a dedication plaque for the main training facility, featuring my mother's name and Olympic rowing record. "Oh," Catherine exclaimed. "Your mother was Elizabeth James, the 3-time Olympic medalist." The same. She always said her medals meant nothing compared to the opportunities rowing gave her. She would have loved knowing her home was becoming a chance for others to chase those same dreams. After hanging up, I reviewed the family's social media campaign. They'd been busy, posting tearful stories about family heritage being destroyed, and corrupt developers taking advantage of private property. It was time to change the narrative. I pressed the intercom. "Linda, please activate Protocol Legacy." My PR team had been waiting for this signal. Within hours, local news stations began running the story we'd prepared. Olympic champion's son honors mother's legacy with Youth Sports Academy. The piece included photos of mom's Olympic victories, interviews with her former teammates, and detailed plans for the Academy's scholarship program. By noon, the family's social media posts were being overwhelmed with positive comments about Olympic dreams and opportunities for underprivileged youth. My phone buzzed, Margaret calling. I answered, curious to hear her new approach. How could you, she demanded, using mom's name for this revenge scheme. Revenge? I'm creating opportunities for young athletes, just like mom always wanted. She wanted this place to stay in the family. You know that. No, Margaret. She wanted it to matter, to mean something more than just another rich family's summer home. Check your email. I sent her the last letter mom had written, just before her final Olympics as a coach. My dearest children, this lake gave me my dreams. My hope was never for you to simply live here, but for you to understand what it means to give others the same chances I had. The water doesn't care about family names or bank accounts. It cares about heart, determination, and the willingness to help others succeed. Love, Mom's silence on the line. She wrote that the week before she started coaching underprivileged kids. I said quietly, the same kids you and the family mocked for lowering property values when they trained here. James, save it. The academy opens in 3 months. Mom's legacy will help kids achieve their dreams, not fuel family entitlement. After hanging up, I walked down to the boathouse. The renovation team was already there, transforming the space where Mom had taught me to row into a state-of-the-art training facility. The family's planned luxury boat parking would instead house Olympic-class racing shells. My phone buzzed again, a message from Emma's husband. We've already spent thousands on new furniture and moving costs. You'll be hearing from our lawyer. I typed back, excellent. I'm sure the judge will be interested in your documented plan to seize private property. I hear that's frowned upon in court. Linda buzzed through. Sir? The local news is here for your interview about the academy. Perfect timing. I straightened my tie and headed to the manor's front steps, where a news crew was setting up. Behind them I spotted Aunt Patricia's car parked discreetly down the road, watching. Good, let them see what real legacy looks like. The reporter smiled as I approached. Mr. James, your mother's Olympic history adds such amazing context to this project. What do you think she'd say about transforming her family home into an opportunity for young athletes? I looked directly into the camera, knowing my family would be watching. My mother believed that privilege comes with responsibility. This academy isn't about destroying family heritage. It's about creating new legacies for families who never had the chances we did. Every student who trains here will carry forward the values she lived by: determination, excellence, and the understanding that success means helping others succeed. As I spoke, I saw Aunt Patricia's car pull away. The family was finally beginning to understand. They couldn't shame me into enabling their entitlement. Not when I was building something that truly honored Mom's memory. The reporter gestured to the lake. The views here are incredible. Weren't you tempted to keep this as a private residence? I smiled, remembering Mom's words about the water showing true reflections. The real view will be watching young athletes discover their potential, knowing that this place changed their lives just like it changed my mother's. That's worth more than any private luxury. Later that evening, as the sun set over the lake, I received one final message. From Margaret. I found my old rowing medals in the attic. Maybe the academy could use them for inspiration. Mom would have liked that. Perhaps there was hope for some of the family after all. Not all reflections are set in stone. 3 weeks after announcing the academy, I stood in the construction zone that had once been the manor's grand dining room. The space where the family had plotted their takeover was being transformed into a training center, complete with ergometers and strength equipment. My phone buzzed, another legal threat, this time from Patrick's lawyer. Our client demands compensation for damages related to his premature home sale based on your family's verbal agreement regarding the property transfer. I forwarded it to my legal team with a simple note, add it to the collection. That made 17 threats of litigation, all equally baseless. The family was learning the hard way that we decided to take it wasn't a legally binding contract. Catherine Moore, the academy director, walked in reviewing applications on her tablet. James, you need to see this. One of the applicants, it's your cousin Emma's daughter Sarah. I took the tablet, surprised. Sarah was 16, a competitive rower at her private school. The application was impressive. Strong times, good academics, glowing coach recommendations. But it was her essay that caught my attention. I never knew my Aunt Elizabeth, the Olympian. But every time I row, I feel connected to her legacy. When I heard about the academy, I realized this wasn't just about family property, it was about something bigger. I want to earn my place here, not because of my last name, but because I deserve it. She applied through the general admission process, Catherine said. No mention of family connections. Her coach says she's been training extra hours, improving her times. I smiled, remembering Mom's words about the water showing true character. Process her application like any other. If she earns her spot, she earns it. My phone buzzed, Emma calling. I answered, expecting another tirade. James, she said quietly. Sarah told me about her application. I want you to know I didn't put her up to this. I know, her essay made that clear. She said I was wrong about the academy. That it's not about taking something from the family, but about building something meaningful. A pause. Maybe she's not the only one who needed to learn that lesson. After hanging up, I walked down to the boathouse. The construction team was installing the new rowing tanks, indoor training pools, where students would perfect their technique. On the wall, Mom's Olympic medals would hang beside the academy's motto, Excellence Through Opportunity. Linda buzzed through on the intercom. Sir, there's a situation at the gate. Your Uncle Bob and several family members are demanding entry. They're threatening to call the press. Perfect timing, I replied. The press is already here for the academy's first official photo shoot. Send them in. Minutes later, Uncle Bob stormed into the boathouse, followed by Patrick and several others. They stopped short at the sight of the cameras and reporters. Ah, family, I called out cheerfully. You're just in time. We're documenting the transformation of the old boathouse into the Elizabeth James Training Center. Would you like to say a few words about Mom's Olympic legacy? Uncle Bob's face reddened as cameras turned toward him. He'd come to make a scene, but now he was trapped. Anything he said would be broadcast to the community. That is, we just wanted to discuss family matters. He stammered. Of course, Mom's passion for helping young athletes was legendary in the family. Perhaps you'd like to share some memories, or discuss how the academy will continue her work. Patrick stepped forward, glaring. This isn't about her legacy. This is about you stealing our inheritance. The reporters perked up. One raised her microphone. Sir, are you suggesting that providing opportunities for underprivileged athletes is stealing? Patrick faltered. No, I meant, what my cousin means, I interrupted smoothly, is that our family has inherited a profound responsibility. My mother believed that true inheritance isn't about property, it's about passing on values. The academy will inherit her Olympic spirit, her dedication to excellence, and her commitment to helping others achieve their dreams. The reporters nodded appreciatively. Uncle Bob and the others retreated, realizing their attempt at confrontation had backfired completely. Later that evening, I received an unexpected email from Margaret. Little brother, watching you today, handling the family with Mom's characteristic grace under pressure, made me realize something. You didn't just inherit her property, you inherited her vision. The academy isn't destroying her legacy, it's fulfilling it. I found her old training journals in my attic. They belong at the academy, where they can inspire a new generation. Margaret attached was a photo of Mom's leather-bound journals, filled with training plans, inspirational quotes, and notes about helping young athletes believe in themselves. My phone buzzed with a text from Catherine. Final selection committee meeting tomorrow. Sarah's times put her in the top 10% of applicants. She earned her spot. I smiled, remembering how Mom used to say that water finds its own level. Perhaps some of the family was finally finding theirs. The next morning, I stood at the lakefront as the sun rose, watching the construction crews arrive. The manor's transformation was well underway. Walls coming down, spaces opening up, new purpose flowing into old rooms. Linda buzzed through one final time. Sir, the family's lawyer sent over a settlement proposal. They're offering to drop all claims in exchange for guaranteed admission slots for family members. I thought about Sarah, earning her place through merit rather than manipulation. Tell them the only guarantee at the Elizabeth James Academy is this: everyone earns their place, or they don't get one at all. Just like Mom would have wanted. The water lapped at the dock, its surface mirror smooth in the morning light. Mom used to say that lakes have memories. They remember every stroke, every practice, every moment of triumph and failure. This lake would remember my family's attempt to claim what wasn't theirs, but it would also remember what rose in its place, a legacy worthy of the Olympic spirit that had first made these waters home. 6 months later, the morning of the Academy's opening ceremony dawned clear and bright, the lake's surface painted gold by the rising sun. I stood on the newly constructed observation deck, watching the first group of students arrive, 50 young athletes selected from over 1,000 applicants, each one earning their place through merit and determination. Among them was Sarah, my cousin Emma's daughter, wearing her academy uniform with quiet pride. She hadn't told the other students about her family connection, preferring to be known for her rowing rather than her relation to the founder. The transformation was complete. The manor's ornate sitting rooms had become study areas and classrooms. The formal gardens were now training grounds. The boathouse, where the family had planned to park their luxury vessels, housed sleek racing shells, bearing the Academy's emblem. My phone buzzed, a message from Margaret. Mom's Olympic flag is ready to be raised. The family, those of us who understand now, we're here if you want us. I looked across the gathering crowd. Margaret stood with a small group of family members, the ones who'd chosen legacy over entitlement. Emma, watching her daughter with tears of pride. Even Aunt Patricia, who'd finally admitted that Mom would have preferred this to a family compound. Uncle Bob and his faction were notably absent, having sent one final legal threat yesterday. This disgrace to family heritage will not stand. I'd responded with a simple photo, Mom coaching underprivileged kids on this very lake, her face alight with purpose. No further threats had arrived. Catherine Moore called the ceremony to order. Welcome to the Elizabeth James Olympic Rowing Academy. Today we honor not just a building or a program, but a vision. That excellence knows no economic boundaries. That opportunity should be earned, not inherited. I stepped to the podium, facing the gathered students, families, and press. My mother believed that water is the great equalizer. In a racing shell, your background doesn't matter. Your bank account doesn't matter. What matters is heart, determination, and the willingness to push beyond your limits. The students straightened, recognizing the quote from their acceptance letters. Some thought this place should remain a private luxury. But Mom's Olympic medals weren't displayed in a mansion. They were hung in local schools, inspiring young athletes to dream. Today we return this lake to its true purpose, not as a symbol of privilege, but as a launching point for dreams. Sarah stepped forward with the other student leaders, ready to raise Mom's Olympic flag. As it climbed the pole, snapping in the morning breeze, I saw Margaret wipe away tears. To our first class of athletes, you earned your place here, not through family connections or financial privilege, but through dedication and merit. That's the only currency that matters on this water. The flag reached full staff just as the sun cleared the tree line, illuminating its 5 rings in brilliant gold. And to those who believe family legacy means preserving privilege, look at these students. Every stroke they take, every race they win, every dream they achieve, that's the real legacy. That's what Mom built. That's what we inherit and pass on. The ceremony concluded with the students taking their first official launch, 50 racing shells gliding onto the morning gold water. Sarah's form was perfect, each stroke honoring the grandmother she'd never met but whose spirit she'd finally understood. My phone buzzed one last time. A message from Uncle Bob. You'll regret choosing strangers over family. I watched the shells cutting clean lines across the lake, carrying dreams that would ripple out far beyond these shores. No, I typed back. I chose Mom's real legacy over family entitlement. The water knows the difference. Then I blocked his number and turned to Catherine. Let's get to work. We have champions to build. The lake caught fire with morning light, 50 shells moving as one across its surface. From somewhere I could almost hear Mom's voice. The water remembers. Make it remember something worth keeping. We had, and we would. Sometimes the greatest inheritance isn't what you keep for yourself, it's what you give away to others. The family might never understand that, but the water did, and in the end, that was all that mattered. End of story.